And so bear this in mind, Perlita, as you're going to take the throne, supposedly with the Roble Knight and Dave and your whole take over the earth ideal. When you allow people to do that, Perlita, Bernard, Ellery, the Inbreeds, the Oyster Cracker Man, because, hey man, they follow you, Oyster Cracker Man, supposedly you're the man of freedom, and GPS, Roble Knight, Red Randy, and all that, then that means if you guys condone that behavior from your general population of peers and that ideal that you say is your culture, Red Randy, Red Gordon, Jim Riley, Joe Zilligindi, and so on and so forth, that means that at one point, if your own people, that mass of the street urban warfare, gets to walk all over you, just like they did it in LA and in Florida and in Georgia and in Louisiana. Understand, Harry, country and western? Alton, if they could get that into the Perlita life ghetto. Fight over the condos! Get it, LGBT? See why the general cool population of gay or LGBT leaves? Because you guys' ideal on the street doesn't match those that really are. Because those who really are don't talk about it. They have it private. They don't make it a public display. They don't, only those of you who are so super nasty, faggot, disgusting put it on display and then supposedly want to be congratulated for it. I don't give a fuck, Perlita. Because how do people have the right to survive, and how can they do the LGBT thing and the homeless thing if you got no fucking money? Therefore, Perlita and your team, your snobby, spoiled team with the Carney Bernard. How do you do a circus, Carney Bernardi, if you don't have any money and you're grifting the casinos and stuff, dude? And the Indians are cheating it. You can't cheat. The minister comes in. You better not cheat. Trying to be my dad. You better not cheat, Harry. You better not cheat. But you guys are doing all the cheating and grifting. So, how do you do it? How do you do it? See, this is why I want the group of you, Perlita, to think about your position, Dave, in the cartels. When you have large sums of money and you're making demands for like the military to help heal your sick, educate your poor, those entities in the government to do the things that you all want. You have to give up your money to those in the government and the schools and the doctors and the hospitals to provide those services to those of you who do not have the money. Understand? So, Perlita, see, this is why I don't do drugs and stuff anymore. When you give all your money to people that you're supporting for the right to survive and the LGBT, when those people do drugs and you give all that money to the cartels, okay, then what next? They have all your money, Perlita. They have all the population's money. And so the government functions on the money that for the people that are trying to run a normal society, a community, to keep the cities and stuff functioning. They don't all live in a teepee going, kumbaya, hippie, Dave will save us. Bernard the Carney. You know what happens if Bernard brings in the Carney Circus, Perlita? They run around, do whatever they want, puking in the streets again, doing what Blue Boy said. What led to the original stuff being fucked up? The Christian man. The whole point is, Harry, you're a fucking failure of football. So if all the money for the tickets go to the football, or to the baseball, and it doesn't get to the hospitals or the police, or how do you fucking pay for it? That's why you're 19 trillion in debt. That's why this state is in debt. Because, Harry, when you guys moved through and replaced the leadership that knew what it was doing, it fell to a piece of shit. And Colorado almost did, but they just caught it. They kind of figured it out. My dad and some of them and those other families that kind of kept it stable brought it there. You don't get to go running back to Colorado, Harry, and GPS Night going, oh, we figured it all out. Coward. Just like Carney Bernardi is a coward. Elton, coward. Coward, Joe. Coward, Indian Joe. Oh, you fucked up Michigan, so now it's Colorado? Coward. You're like one of those people, Harry, Joe, Perlita, Jave, Bernard. You went over to war, you fought the war, but you didn't know what was going on, but you come back over and then you start telling everybody what to fucking do. Jim Hall, Bill Duvall. You don't know the kids, but you're going to try to lead them and parent them, but they're pushing you off because all you guys want to do, you old fucking men want to do is fuck their, just want to stick your dick in where it don't belong. You know, sound familiar, Harry and Joe, Roble Knight, 1961 man? See what the military, we don't want your dick in our ass. If I was a fighter pilot, I wouldn't want your dick in my ass, Harry and Joe, Bernard. But you keep trying to fucking do it. If I was a SEAL trying to snipe, I don't want your dick in my ass. Harry, Bernard, whispering faggot Fairmount Indians, I don't want it there. Christians, understand? You can't do your job. Now I can't get one because you want to have your dick in people's ass. Perlita, Dave, Roble Knight, your Red Rand, whoever, your game is getting stupid because if you people want services and help for your people and your druggies and you give all your money to the cartel and not to the hospitals or to the military that can provide the services or, help the police officers or, the tech companies, all you guys do is hack their shit, but they wanted to set it up so you guys, even if you're lazy, could get it to work, but you guys can't even fucking handle that because you're too busy covering for Joe and his bullshit because Randy Wheeler will just run a prison tank. Then we'll attack the students of Overland. Hillbilly football! You're going to, by the time in 10, 15, 20 years from now, the group of you are going to be so fucking broke, you're not going to know what to do. They're going to be launching ships into space, getting people out of here. And just like you wanted, Oyster Cracker Man, Red Randy, Gordon, Dave, like in your comic book, Perlita, Marvel, whatever, it's going to turn into a pile of fucking shit. Because you people did not want to follow the rules out here on how these cities worked when those guys set it up before, so you didn't have to do it, Perlita. You guys wanted to follow the fag, sex machine Harry and the football player thing. So they let you build the stadiums on top of the stuff where you shouldn't, let you guys do all your stuff because supposedly you're the superior being with the stick his nose in the air, Ellery chasing his cross, didn't know anything about the Germans, whatever. Okay? The Antilla man stealing shit, grifting, running back and forth, going to tell basically himself of the people that he killed, Israel, Russia, whatever. Okay. You got what you wanted, Bernard. You got your minor in the competition with Roble Knight and with Joe and Holly and whatever. Your sicko group. Your rape barn. Okay, hillbillies? But guess what? You've set in enough genetics and pattern, repetitive modeling mode, that's what you're gonna fucking be. Because that's your culture. And you guys got that because you don't want to pay attention or listen to other people's culture because you drove most of them out that wanted to help the group of you anyway. But you just, it doesn't, like I said, Bernard, we marched them in till to be first. Good, be first. Be the first prototype of fail. For the third time, Bernard. Well, the fag and Ellery. You're heading on the road to another brick in the wall. So again, Bernard, for a man who listened to a lot of rock and roll with Doug, you guys aren't sure doing very fucking well. I don't want your leadership, Bernard. Or the circus. Or Perlita's. Or Elton's. Or your group of fucking liars. Because you're the ones that ruined everybody's life. You guys ruined the Hollywood celebrity's life. NBC's. PBS. Nova. All the stuff now that you guys want, you're the first ones to destroy. And then it's just an excuse from there. You're a murderer, Joe. Indian. It wasn't good enough. Harry, it wasn't good enough. Strip it out. It wasn't good enough. Now a political party comes and set up. Strip it out. Now they're sitting in your pedophile park with Ellery, Perlita. It's his hand. Your blue drop. I told you, Ellery. Perlita, whoever it was, Robo Knight, you fucking touch my sister and my wife, you copy my fucking idea, you're a fucking dead man. Live with the choices you make. And quit coming up with excuses, Perlita, for that fucking faggot. Because that's what he is. And he deserves to fucking die. Understand? You put your dick where it don't belong. You guys want to run your little rape room and shit. You deserve to fucking die. They let you guys have your culture. They let you guys have your YouTube and your Google, even though people tried to help you all. They almost tried to get it to work out here. They almost tried to get it to work in Denver. But guess what? You guys got to fuck that up too. You don't believe. Guess what? You're stuck in a fucking shit prison tank, Perlita, with my mom and Don Wiley. Because guess what? That's what you guys told them what you wanted. Understand? So if you want to run around and make yourselves into dykes and scream and yell and profess all this shit, all the things you told me not to do in my youth, Karen, that you ended up doing for that special little spoiled little bitch, then you get to have her as your child. Adoption. Remember, Karen, you can have that thing over your son and betray your husband and all that stuff. But I'm not buying your scam anymore for country and western. Understand, Brian Faust? If you betray your friend and you want to take my dog, and it's mine, and you guys fuck it all up when they needed that stuff, Karen and Brian, then you get to live with that shit. If you screw over Jordan Fowler, guys, because you're racism shit, Marktown Kaikoto and guys, you deserve what you get. Perlita, if you help them, you deserve what you get. Quit coming up with Judy Shepard. Your bill, guess what? It has consequences. All of it does. Either grow out of the religious stuff and use your brains and evolve like the rest, like you guys make fun of the prison inmates and stuff for doing. Those people who actually want to get out of the gangs, and not live that life that a lot of you put them in. Why don't the group of you who are so spoiled and elite, your middle classness, come out of that little spoiled mode and actually learn about what some of your children had to deal with, so you evolve with your children, like some of these people out here are doing, which I know a lot of you are jealous of. But you're not going to take that away from the Navy and the Coast Guard and the police officers and the firefighters and those entities out here that worked for it, because they believe in Bailey and Kim. And I'm sick and tired of you, faggot Robo Knight, and your team, Harry, Joe, Bernard de la Carney, coming through and taking it like you guys take it the last time. That's why your pattern, Bernard and Elton, Joe, Jim Riley, is the same. And until you change it, the world's gonna suck because it wasn't based upon a shitty fucking comic book.